Hey everybody, I'm Steve and welcome back to Rusty Wrench Restorations. Special video today. Today is Sunday, March 30th, 2025. And last night hit 1,000 subscribers. So almost 14 months to the day, 14 months, 2 days, something like that, but who's counting? So I just wanted to do a quick little video to thank everybody who has supported me up to this point. I hate writing down names and channels because I always feel like I'm going to miss somebody and skip somebody. But these guys here have all helped me tremendously over the last few months. So I'll put links in the description of this video with all their channels. Please, if you're looking for a new channel to watch or to check out, please check out one of these channels, or all of them would be great. They're all different in content and how they do their videos, personalities, and they all make a cool little community. So I just want to go through this list. Again, the links will be in the description below. Please check out their channels, like their videos, subscribe. They've supported me, so if you're on my channel, please support them as well. I'd really appreciate it. So Gary at Tractor Talk with Gary. Again, I always say he's the guy who started this whole thing for me with the YouTube channel stickers and doing shout outs for other channels. So Gary, I don't know if you were the one who started that with these other guys on here, or maybe it was Ed or someone else. It's that whole what came first, the chicken or the egg. So I'd like to know, Gary, if you can comment below. But anyway, thank you to Gary. Ed from Goslin Farms, amazing videos. This guy daily uploads. He's got a cattle farm, very interesting stuff, doing all kinds of, calving at this point, right? It's springtime. It's like every day there's new ones, so it's an amazing thing to watch, and the amount of time and effort they put into their farm is just unreal. So hats off to you, sir. Kev at Kev's Can Cave. Really cool, eclectic stuff, something different all the time. Trinkets, gadgets, cans, you name it. I think it's Wednesdays typically he puts up an oddball item and you have to try to guess what it is, right? So that's always a fun game. Noel from Garden Tractors and Firewood, Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. I just talked about him in my other video, got his sticker on my board. Noel's at 817 subscribers. Everyone on this list is over 1,000 subscribers now except for Noel. So please, if you can, if I remember, I'm gonna try to insert a picture of Noel right here. Like, how can you not want to subscribe to this guy's channel? He's the most awesome guy. He's always tinkering in his garage, working on tractors, working on chainsaws, burning firewood. And today being Sunday, I can't wait for tonight to sit down with a coffee and watch his fireside chat with Noel, where he reviews everybody's channels and what they've been doing for the week. So really good guy. Please check him out. Louis from South Texas Hay. They just had a bunch of rain down there and flooding. Fortunately, his building, he was smart enough to know to build his building, I think about 4 foot higher than the ground around that area. So fortunately, his building in Hay was saved, but there's a lot of devastation down there, lots of flooding. So if you can, try to keep him in your thoughts as well. So thinking about you there, Louie. Kenny from Open Air Adventure does cool going out in the woods. Got a big case tractor, front wheel assist, big old wagon. They cut down trees, bring it back, dry it out, chop it up, burn it, and drink some alcohol. So I love watching Kenny's stuff. Matt the Scrap Whisperer, again, always tinkering on some cool things. He's had this old, I believe it was a Chinese diesel engine he's been working on, and had a video on that in a minute. So I'm sure we'll see more of that to come. A couple more here. Dell, Backyard with Dell. Again, my last video, I also added his sticker to my board. So he's always doing firewood, tractor shows, restoring things. Really good guy with a bunch of cool content. Will from Faraway Farm. I don't even know how you can farm. It's hard enough to farm as it is, but when you're up in, those colder northern states and, Montana and just North Dakota and South Dakota, like, I don't know how people can even do it up there. It's crazy. So he's got a lot going on out there with the weather as well. So proud of you, Will. You're doing great. Jason 1PA. I've watched this guy's YouTube channels years ago when I first started restoring tractors, and if it wasn't for him, I never would have been able to restore my Ford 9N. So Jason, thank you again as always. I appreciate you. Tony from R&W Farmstead. Tony's got all kinds of great videos through the week. good motivational videos, doing container gardens, all kinds of cool stuff. So check him out. And then last but not least, Dylan from Farming Alaska. Dylan and I were kind of neck and neck at that like 990, 994, 998, trying to get to that 1,000 mark. And he hit it, I think, a day or two before me. So Dylan, you won, buddy. But Dylan's channel's awesome. I've just recently started watching his within the last few, I don't know, 3 weeks, I guess. But he does stuff out on the farm, and he also does like a podcast type video. So they got some cool stuff to see on there. He's got some new additions in his life. I'll leave that at that. But congratulations, brother. Hope the best to you with that. That's amazing. Yeah, just really cool channel. Check his channel out. He's up in Alaska in the snow. He does hay. So I'm looking forward to seeing the summer months up there with his hay harvest and everything. And well, I think it was the last video he had up, or the one before, they were taking round bales and putting them through a chopper, shredding it, and running it through a square baler, all inside his big, I call it a Quonset hut, but it looks like it's made out of tarp. But a huge area to keep his hay dry and everything. But they were in there just chopping these round bales and making them into square bales. And, you know, supply and demand, right? You gotta give the people what they want. So check out Farming in Alaska with Dylan. Cool channel, cool dude, and super proud of you. Glad you made it to the 1,000. And yeah, it's awesome. Good stuff. So anyway, thanks for everybody with all your support. These people, without you, I would not be where I am. So thank you so much for all that. And yeah, 1,000. It's crazy. Never thought I'd see it. Anyway, thank you again so much. Again, check the link below and check out these channels. Please, please, please go check them out. Give them a subscribe. And let's see if we can get Noel over that 1,000 mark. So now that the thank yous are out of the way, I think we're going to try to get a little work done on this old bad boy here. I got to try to keep my camera pointed in this general direction, which should be fine. We'll be working back here on the front. But I got my tripod actually set up on a new project that we got. See, today's Sunday. I picked it up on Friday. And that'll be a next week's video. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun one. But done videos on this thing. Obviously, we've gone through the whole fuel system, the whole wiring system, all the fluids, filters. We've done everything except for the fan belt. John Deere part number R97758. The one that's on there is pretty bad. Normally fan belt, not a big deal. This one here looks like it should be a little bit interesting. So I'm going to pop the hood off real quick. We'll loosen up the alternator to get the tension off the belt. I want to try not to damage the old belt, only because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it off today or not. I don't want to cut it and then I'm stuck without a belt. So we'll loosen the alternator up. The belt routes over the alternator pulley, the water pump pulley, and the crank pulley. The problem that we're going to have, or that I'm worried about, is on the crank pulley, there's a coupling that drives the hydraulic pump in the front. And from what I can see, there's 2 bolts that keep the 2 coupling halves together. So obviously I have to take those 2 bolts off, not a problem. But I don't know if there's going to be enough gap or room in between there to slide the old belt out and the new belt in. So that's my concern, because if there isn't room to slide it through, then I'm going to have to break into the hydraulic system and move the pump forward, and that's not going to happen today. So we'll take a peek and see what we're dealing with here. Alright, so here we are in front of the tractor. You can see the alternator here, and the fan belt goes from the alternator to the water pump back there, and then down inside to the crank pulley down there. And you can see those 2 bolts on the top of that coupling. One is going up, one is going down, and that should split. So I think I just have to reach from up underneath the tractor here, and I can get to these bolts. That shouldn't be an issue. That coupling should come apart okay, but I just don't know if there's going to be room between the pump shaft and the crank pulley to get the belt through. So I guess there's only one way to find out, right? And to make matters worse, there's nothing in my book here. I had my page open, but I took it out. Anyway, there's no procedure in here. Of course, this is just the service manual. I do not have the owner's manual for this one yet, which would probably be helpful. And there is not a video of this on YouTube. I'm gonna set this right here. Hopefully you'll see me. I'm gonna see if I can find this picture here. So yeah, there's not a video on YouTube anywhere for the 301A, the 300, or the 1020, which is the ag version of this industrial tractor. So it has the procedure, here it is. It has the procedure for removing the pump and putting it back in. But this pump drive assembly, it just kind of doesn't talk about it. It just shows this picture right here. So you can see the pump shafts here. These are the two coupling halves. And it talks about some special screws and hoses. And there is a little bit in here in this procedure. Using Loctite on each screw, install special screws to crankshaft pulley. If equipped with a hex head, tighten to 85. If they're square hole, tighten to 35. Like, slip rubber hose segments on special screws. Like, when you start talking about special things, that gets scary. It sounds expensive, and I probably can't get the parts anymore. So I really don't want to have to take that apart any further than I need to. So if we absolutely just can't get this apart, they sell segmented belts that I could put on here, but I really don't want to do that. It can't be that hard. I'm probably making it out to be worse than it is. So like I said, let me get this hood off and let's just dig into it. Well, the good thing is I was able to reach in here. And there goes my light. Anyway, I was able to reach in here and get this top nut loose with this long gear wrench. So that one's coming off pretty easy. Now it's just a matter of, let's see if we can get to this bottom one down here. Angle this a little bit and hook on. I might have to get that from the bottom of the socket, but anyway, it looks like they're loose enough to start coming off. See if it wants to zoom in there. I can see these here. There we go. So I was able to get that top nut loosened up, and the one where you see the bolt head on the top, we'll work on the nut on the bottom, see if we can get that loose. And that just gets the coupling halves apart. Alright, I got the far bolt out, and not only did it have the lock nut on top, but the bolt itself is threaded all the way through both of those couplers. So one more bolt. Oh, I tell you, this thing's been fighting me for a minute. So as you can see, I've got my ratchet with not only one, not only two, not only three. Yeah, it is three. I got three extensions on there with a universal joint on the socket to get to that top bolt. But hopefully you can see in there that that clamshell is split open. And if you look in the middle, you can kind of see at the tip of the flashlight there, those two hoses. They call them hoses. They're just like rubber bushings, but and they have bolts through them. And there's about maybe 1/8 of an inch gap in between them. And there's no way that that fan belt, old or new, is going to fit through there. So we're going to abort mission today. In order to get that fan belt changed, which is crazy to me, we're going to have to disconnect some of these hydraulic hard lines, and let me get the pump back here. I know the lighting's terrible in this spot. Basically, we have to unbolt the pump from the frame and slide the whole pump forward. That'll give us the gap we need to get the old belt out and the new belt in. And just for videoing purposes, to make it a little more interesting so you're not looking into a deep dark hole with a flashlight like we just were, I'll probably pull the radiator, which is way more work than you need to do, but it'll get us a better video shot. You'll be able to see what's going on, and honestly, while it's out, I'll just flush it, make sure there's no gunk or goulash in there. So yeah, we'll save that for another video. But in the event that you're in dire need to know how to change a fan belt on a John Deere 300 or 301A, or the 300.5 as I like to call this one, yeah, you need to pull that pump forward. So not exactly the best design, but oh well. So that's going to be it for today's video. I'm going to go ahead and put this coupling back together. At least I can still move this thing around, and I'll see you the next time.